What's up, everybody? Once again, it is time for Funko News. This edition of Funko News was recorded on June 29th, 2025. The Mickey Mouse and Walt Disney on Fire engine is available right now on Shop Disney. Remember, you can also find that in Disney parks. The early access for the Sliced Arm City Hunter Predator, and that is limited to 3,500 pieces, has sold out. That figure is going to ship out on June 30th. You can check your local Five Below and you might actually come across the Dorbs. That's a product that Funko has discontinued, so I was surprised to see some in my local Five Below. If you're interested, like I said, look around in your own local Five Below. I did not see any listed on the website. The GameStop exclusive Kuzan from One Piece and Kento Naname from Jujutsu Kaisen are coming soon. I covered a lot of pops recently that have now become available for pre-order. I'm not going to run through the full list here, but you see them listed on the screen. I do want to point out specifically, though, that the new Megan pops are available for pre-order, and then also these Day of the Dead Barbie and Ken. A Mighty Morphin Power Rangers the movie signing event will take place at Funko Hollywood on July 17th. The Game of the Year Astrobot pop is delayed until November 12th. If you had an order in for that figure, make sure you check your email. You should have received a discount code for $5 on Funko.com because of this delay. I actually did order this figure. I played that game. I really love that game. I'm not upset about the delay. I mean, I'm still going to get it regardless. I do want to say this real quick before I move on. When it comes to discount codes, like obviously we're about to have the SDCC Summer Convention drop, and I will talk about that more later on in this video. I would not fiddle with the discount code while trying to get an order in. If you know you're going for something that might sell out, you want to get through checking out as quickly as possible because things are going to move quickly. At least some of the figures are going to move quickly. But like I said, I'll talk more about that later on in the video. A limited edition Leroy from Lilo and Stitch is limited to 1,200 pieces is coming soon. When I learn more about that, of course, I will share with you all. The Fanatics exclusive Oklahoma City Thunder 2025 NBA Champions 5-pack is available for pre-order, and they have it listed as being ready to ship out early next year. I don't know if that's going to change and maybe it'll be sooner, but that's what it says on their website. The Justice League Cross with Sonic Target exclusives have been available for pre-order on the website, but certain characters have been kind of dropping in and out of availability, so just keep checking the website for these. But of course, they will be available in stores. These are going to be August releases. The GameStop exclusive Flocked Sleeping Stitch has a late August release, and the Entertainment Earth exclusive Stitch and Sun Lounger has an August release. These are both available for pre-order with their respective websites. The new Loungefly products that you see pictured here are available directly with Loungefly, and also they are listed with Entertainment Earth. The Childless Collectibles exclusive Flocked Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta with glow-in-the-dark chase is available for pre-order, and they do have different purchasing options, so make sure you read the details with those to see what's what and what you want to go with. That figure will ship out as of late September or possibly early October. The Funko.com exclusive Super Saiyan 4 Goku is coming soon. Of course, we don't know a specific date about that. When I see that it's on the way, I will at least do a community post about it. From One Piece, we have the Usopp Wanted poster coming soon, and along with the Krusty dolls that you see here from The Simpsons to Funko.com. Same like I said before, when it comes to Funko.com exclusives, we don't have specific dates, but I do try to give heads up with community posts. The specialty series Devil Donald with Pumpkin has a blacklight chase, and that is available for pre-order with various retailers. I know that I've seen it with Entertainment Earth, but there are some other retailers online that have it also. Beetlejuice in the Waiting Room is coming soon. I really like the look of this. I might have to try to make some room and find a spot for that. I'm just going to have to go ahead and get myself a Beetlejuice section basically. But yeah, really love the look of that. Again, that's coming soon. Looks like it's going to be pretty easy to get your hands on. The Entertainment Earth exclusive metallic Megan that you see here is available for pre-order, and that has a September release. Now, when it comes to Sanrio, we have here the specialty series Polka Dot My Melody, Kuromi, and Pocket Pop 2-pack that should become available for pre-order on Wednesday, July 2nd. The Entertainment Earth exclusive The Great Eggplant, Courage the Cowardly Dog, has pre-sold out. I'm not sure if this is going to get a restock or not. If you're interested in that one, hopefully you did go ahead and get your pre-order in. This one did pre-sell out very quickly. Entertainment Earth does tend to do restocks at certain points, so we'll see what happens with that one. But yeah, if you're able to get that order in, then it will ship out in July. Here are the new WWE Pops that should become available for pre-order on Wednesday. This does include Jade, the New Age Outlaws 2-pack, CM Punk, this new Roman Reigns. We also have here Damian Priest with the Money in the Bank case. Again, remember, Wednesday is when you would get your pre-orders in for these, or you could just be patient, wait for these to show up in stores. Peter Parker, Iron Spider, and Steve Rogers, Captain America. You see their designs going on here, that kind of split design. These are coming soon as Target exclusives. The X-Men #4 comic cover featuring Wolverine will become available for pre-order on Wednesday. I do like the look of this one, but when it comes to the comic covers, I just have to be picky because of space, so I may have to pass on this one. Now, there are some price changes coming on with Funko. We knew that these were on the way. The surprising bit of it, though, is that the standard price, we already know that the standard price for Pops, the 4-inch Pops, was going up from around $12 to $15, but it seems like the other prices are either staying where they're at, or some of them may actually be decreasing. I'm not going to read through the full list. You can kind of check it out here for yourself. I do have to specify, though, that when it comes to figures that have limited piece counts, the price is still going to vary. They could be higher, so just do bear that in mind. I think this pricing chart is mainly just based off of standard figures, but we'll see if there are any other bits of information that come along regarding pricing in the near future. But for right now, this is the standard pricing, and it's the same with exclusives. Exclusives seems like they should be around $15. I know in stores I've been seeing some up to $18. I hope that comes down, but we'll see what happens with it. If I learn any more about the pricing, of course I will share that information with you all. And now let's get into SDCC, the Summer Convention shared exclusives. I'm mainly focusing on the shared exclusives. They will become available on Thursday, July 24th. The time will likely be 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, which would be 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. If there's going to be a change with the release time, then I will share that in a future video. Remember, some figures will be event only. I'm going to mainly focus on, what we can get our hands on easily, but some figures will be event only. You have to actually attend SDCC to be able to get them, or you can wait and try to go second market, but those will be some hefty prices. But again, remember, most figures are going to be available on Funko.com and with shared retailers. And once I go through all of the figures, then I will talk about the shared retailers. So starting off here, of course, we see this new Bing Bong from Inside Out. Very sad reference there. He has the speech bubble, so kind of a touching moment there if you want to get that into your collection. You also see here with Bitty Pops, we have a Bitty Pop Fun Force 4-pack, a Bitty City Funkoville Land Starter Pack, and a Bitty City Funkoville Road Starter Pack. Definitely let me know in the comments if you actually plan to try to build a Bitty Pop City. Next up here, we have the Fantastic Four Bitty Pop set, of course, focusing on the movie First Steps. I do like the look of that. I think I'm going to go for this one for my own collection. We also have here the Pop of Herbie. I don't really feel like I need that one so much, but it is cool that they are making that for this convention, the summer convention. Focusing on Marvel here, we of course have the Sensational Spider-Man, which I'll go ahead and say it. This one is going to be with Target because it's actually already shown up in some Target stores. People have actually already got their hands on it, but don't stress over that if you're not seeing it in your local Target. This should be a pretty easy figure to get, I think. We also have here focusing on X-Men 97 Gambit. That's a pretty funny reference there. I don't think I need that figure though. We also have here a diamond figure of Dazzler. I do like the look of that one. I could see picking that up, and I definitely like Onslaught, even though it seems like he's going to have a hefty price tag, $40, if the information that I saw is accurate, but still really like the look of that one, so I absolutely have to go for it. Next up here, we have SpongeBob Cleaning, which I do like the look of that one. That's a gift, basically. When friends tell me that they're busy, sometimes I will send that gift to them because I do like that reference there. Seems like that figure could be $20. Remember what I said already, there's going to be some variation with some pricing for certain figures. We also have here this 2-pack based on Fairly Odd Parents. I'm not familiar with these characters myself. We also have here Sam Manson from Danny Phantom. Focusing on DC, we have a Kingdom Come Batman, which I might get. I don't feel like I need that right away, and I'd be surprised if it sells out right away. I don't know, we'll see what happens with it, but if I didn't get it right away and it sold out, I don't think I'd be kicking myself over that. We also have here this red Azrael Batman, which is going to be event only. That will be limited to 1,500 pieces. I think that's going to have a higher price. I'm not sure about that though, but you do see here with the blueprint Batman and the blueprint Robin that they should have an increased price of $40. They are limited to 2,010 pieces, and if you're wondering why Funko went with that specific number, it's because that's when Funko Pops were first created and sold, the year 2010. So that's what the reference is there. If I learn any more about the pricing there with that Azrael Batman, maybe I will mention that in the future. Next up here, focusing on Naruto, we have here Naruto Uzumaki Sasuke's Paw Encyclopedia, which is definitely a reference I don't get. We also have this Sasuke moment, which looks absolutely amazing. I think that is one of the standouts for this convention. Really love the look of that. Next up here from One Piece, we have Nico Robin with Mini Mary 2. And then from Demon Slayer, we have Tenjin with his Wise, which has been long rumored. That's another item that I really want to add to my own collection. I may not get it right away. I think it's, I mean, obviously it's got to have a hefty price to it. So I may not order that day one, but if it sits there for a while, maybe I'll come back around to it because yeah, I really do like the look of that. Next up here, we have a very limited 500 piece Freddy Funko Voltron, which is basically done in that kind of Jumbo Chan style there. That is event only. We also have here a facet or facet, however you prefer to say it, Barbie, that is going to be event only, and that is 2,000 pieces. Buccaneer Shadow, of course, is with Target. I mentioned this one previously. I also mentioned that it's been showing up in some Target stores and not register locked, so it should be pretty easy to get that one. If you didn't get it already in your local Target, or you don't see it in your local Target, I think it's going to be easy to get off of the website. We also have here a Jumbo Entei, of course, from Pokemon. So with that being a jumbo figure, it's going to have an elevated price. I'm pointing out pricing here a little bit just because I want you to be mindful to make sure that you're going to have enough money for the things that you want to get from this convention. So don't just go off of my video, do some research, look around to try to figure out the pricing and get an idea of how much you plan to spend with this drop. You also see here the metallic Kuromi and the metallic My Melody. Tank Girl was definitely a surprise. I did not see that one coming. I think she had been rumored previously, but not that rumor wasn't floating around recently, so I thought maybe it just wasn't going to happen. But yeah, we have Tank Girl here for this convention. We also have Stitch on Surfboard, which is a pretty cool looking one, and then Pingu as well has a pop on the way with this convention. The Glitter Huckleberry Hound, despite being limited to 2,000 pieces, is not an event-only figure. This is actually going to be available on Funko.com, and I could see that one going quickly. And I definitely think that the Mystery Huckleberry Hound is going to go very quickly because there are varying piece counts, and it gets as low as 100 pieces. And I think Funko said that there's actually going to be another one that's not even pictured here that could be a lower count. So yeah, I definitely see these figures here going very quickly. Even people that are not big fans of Huckleberry Hound might be excited about the prospect of getting something that is very limited. So definitely keep Huckleberry Hound in mind for this convention. I think these are going to be very popular and go very fast. And again, Funko is showing some, appreciation for their history with these figures here. This is at what the actual original pop packaging looked like. And you see that they have here Batman, Robin, and the Penguin that are going to be available, but only at the event. Only at the event. Now, if the Batman was available outside of the event, I would love to add that to my collection, but I'm not going to stress it. I'm not going to stress over everything that's, convention only or event only. But again, I do like this idea. I think that is pretty cool. We'll see if they do this with any other figures, putting them in the original packaging. If you haven't seen this already, make sure that you take time and kind of study this list here to see where things are going to be available. Now, the day of the actual drop, pretty much everything should be on Funko.com except for the show only figures. And with the other figures here, if you don't get them directly with Funko.com, then you can check with Box Lunch for the Surfing Stitch. Remember, Target is going to have the Buccaneer Shadow, Sensational Spider-Man. Oh, and they also have that Kingdom Come Batman. I forgot about that. So yeah, I definitely should be able to get that in my collection, and I shouldn't have to worry about doing it right away. The Sasuke moment, that is going to be with GameStop. They only get one this time, which is kind of interesting. Hot Topic also only gets one. They get that metallic Kuromi. You see Entertainment Earth is where the Jumbo Entei is going to be. The show only figures, I'll run through these quickly here. Of course, there are the original packaging Batman, Robin, and the Penguin, and that red Azrael Batman is show only. That might be $40 like the blueprint ones, but I'm not 100% sure about that. You also see here the metallic My Melody is show only. The Facette or Facette Barbie, however you prefer to say it. The Freddy Funko is Voltron, of course, also being show only. So yeah, like I said, study this, know where things are going to be prepared for the drop, have an idea of how much you need to spend. Remember, the day of the drop, make sure that you are logged in right beforehand so you can get in your payment details and all of that very quickly. Hopefully it'll be a mostly smooth process. We know with so many people going in right away that there might be some stuttering and things like that, but just, you know, try to be patient with it. And after that initial rush, things get a little bit easier to grab things off of the shop, but there are going to be some things that will move very quickly. Like I said, I think the Huckleberry Hound figures are going to go very quickly. Pretty much anything that's limited that's on the site should go very quickly. To the right here, of course, you see the list for Canada. Most things are going to be available with Funko.com. In Canada, they actually have the metallic Kuromi available directly with Funko.com there. But then you see there's going to be other figures available with EB Games, Walmart, and My Pops, which I'm not really familiar with. If you're outside of the US and Canada, you can check with Funko and check with their blog for additional information. They may have listings. In fact, I know they have listings for some countries in South America and maybe Mexico there as well. So do check their blog. With Funko Europe, I don't know exactly what their drop details are just yet. If you're in Europe, definitely check directly with Funko.com there. Outside of these countries, though, check with Pop Culture. Remember, that is an Australian-based website. They sometimes get convention exclusives. Just check around where you usually get Pops, and you should be able to track down at least some of the items that you are interested in. And if you have any additional information that you think is going to help out the collecting community, definitely share it in the comments. So Funko did their Fundays event very differently this year. They decided to have it at Funko Hollywood, and they had different groups going through to experience the event. Basically, like I said, very different, but of course the main focus is still people getting some pretty awesome limited figures there. And I'm going to run through what was event only. Do bear in mind, of course, the only way that you could get these now is the second market, or there are some websites that might as well say they're second market as well. They're sharing the figures. I would check honestly with individual sellers instead of going to some of the websites right away, because they actually can be more expensive on some of the websites. But just kind of look around, compare prices. Don't kind of pull that trigger too fast to get any of these figures. If you are interested in them, definitely shop around, because there actually are some event only figures that are already on the second market, not for high prices. So again, please compare prices, try to save yourself some money. Now, starting off here at 2,500 pieces each, we had Captain Freddy, Captain Franny, and Captain Proto. I'm still not 100% sure what theme Funko was going for this year. It seems like, they have these Captain Pops here, of course, related to sailing, but then seems like they had sort of a jungle adventure type feel going on for the Fundays event. I'm not really sure what they were going for. If you have any more idea about that, definitely let me know. But moving on here, we have some Franny Funko figures here. We had glow in the dark Azula Franny Funko, limited to just 50 pieces. The Diamond Pink Ranger, 1,050 pieces. Metallic Pink Ranger, 100 pieces. The Diamond Wonder Woman, 2,100 pieces. And the Metallic Wonder Woman, 50 pieces. And by the way, if any of these numbers are off, I tried to look at the images. Some of the images, it gets really blurry if I try to increase the size of them. If any of the numbers are off, feel free to correct them in the comments. And then getting into the Freddy Funkos, and there are a lot of them, of course. We had the Green Lantern, 500 pieces, Black Lantern, 500 pieces, Indigo Tribe, which is another lantern figure, basically 250 pieces, Orange Lantern, 3,100 pieces, Translucent Orange Lantern, 2,000 pieces, Translucent Red Lantern, 1,000 pieces, Sinestro Core, 500 pieces, White Lantern, 550 pieces. I know a lot of people are not happy about all these lantern pops this year, and yes, it definitely feels a little bit lazy. There's only a couple of them that I think are okay, and that's really because of the comic lore behind them, not so much the look of the actual figure itself. But yeah, they really went kind of overboard with this lantern thing this year. Moving on though, here we have the Blacklight Iron Man, 500 pieces, the Diamond Iron Man, 150 pieces. John Cena, 500 pieces, and of course they went for a translucent look with that figure. Michael Myers, 3,000 pieces. That's a pretty awesome one, and definitely compare prices for that. I think you can find that Michael Myers at a reasonable price on the second market if you're interested. That's one that I might have to add to my personal collection. Then there's a blacklight Michael Myers, just 150 pieces. A glow-in-the-dark Night of the Living Dummy, 500 pieces. Sepia tone Pinocchio, 550. Shipwreck from G.I. Joe, 2,500 pieces, and a glow-in-the-dark Shipwreck, which does not really make sense to me, that character as glow-in-the-dark, but whatever. That one being 150 pieces. Snake Man-at-Arms, which is very cool. Definitely like that one. That's 500 pieces. Blacklight Star-Lord, 250 pieces. Blacklight Voltron, 1,500. Metallic Voltron, 2,000. And Zuko, 3,500. Also at the event, a few people were lucky enough to get the Ultimate Grail, which was 70 pieces, and then there was a gold variant and they had different color eyes. Only 3 of those were made. That is pretty interesting there, and definitely high value for anybody to have within their collection. Now getting into the sodas, and they decided to focus on Funimation, which I thought was a good idea. I really like the look of these sodas. And again, if any of these counts are off, feel free to correct that in the comments. But you see here, Celestial Franny, 2,500 pieces, and that's just her standard coloring. Then Celestial Franny in pink, 2,500. Celestial Franny in silver, 2,500. Then the Fun Force Freddy, 1,500. Purple Ultimate Freddy, 500 pieces. Red Ultimate Freddy, 750. And the glow-in-the-dark Kaiju Proto, 2,000 pieces. And that is an amazing looking figure. Definitely one I'm gonna look at the prices on second market to see if there's anything reasonable, but yeah, that is a very cool figure there. So that's everything that I could find for the live event. If there's anything that I missed, please make sure that you share it in the comments. I'm about to get into the Box of Fun Home Edition. If you want to be completely surprised, please look away quickly, turn the video off, don't check this out if you want to be completely surprised about what you can get. But if you don't mind, then stick around. I am going to run through everything that I have seen thus far for the Box of Fun, the Home Edition. And by the way, at the time of this recording, it's still available on Funko.com. I think a lot of people were just waiting to see what was going to be available, whether it's worth it or not. I'm pretty excited about some of these figures. I actually think in some ways that the variety for the home box is right on the level, if not better, with the live event. That's just my personal opinion. Definitely share your own thoughts about that. But yeah, let's get into the figures here. So we have Franny Funko dressed up for the convention. We also have Azula Franny Funko limited to 1,500 pieces. And then with Freddy Funko, we have him dressed up for the convention. Then we have the translucent Green Lantern, 1,000 pieces. Translucent Black Lantern, 3,000. Blue Lantern, 2,000. Translucent Blue Lantern, 500 pieces. Translucent Indigo Tribe, 500. Red Lantern, 2,000. Translucent White Lantern, 1,000. Now this figure here surprised me that this was for the home box and not for the convention. A Dracula figure, 1,500 pieces. I think that is very cool. The Iron Man, it looks like a simple head swap. I would keep it if I got it though. That one, 1,500 pieces. Same deal with Star-Lord. Kind of looks like a simple head swap, but I kind of like it still. 1,500 pieces. We got the John Cena, 3,000 pieces. Leonardo, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, 3,000 pieces. I think that's another awesome one for the home box. And also a metallic variant, that's 500 pieces. Then we have Man-at-Arms. That is one that I would definitely like to get because I am a Masters of the Universe collector. That one being 3,000 pieces. Metalhead, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Funko did a great job with the design of that figure. That one being 3,000 pieces. And then there's a glow-in-the-dark variant that is 2,000 pieces. Night of the Living Dummy, which I actually like the non-glow variant of this figure more. I think it looks better, 3,000 pieces. The black and white Pinocchio, 2,000 pieces. Two-Face, 3,000 pieces. That's my main want. Didn't luck up and get the Blacklight one last year, so I'm so grateful that they had this one. If I don't get it myself directly, then I will be looking for it on the second market. I really like that Two-Face. We also have here Voltron, 3,000 pieces. Zuko, 3,000 pieces, and that's a really nice color scheme there with that, the fire effect going on there. We have Proto dressed up for the con, of course. And then with the sodas, the only one that I have seen is the Battle Mech Freddy. If you have seen any other sodas for the home box, again, feel free to share that information. Maybe it's just something that I missed, but this is all the information that I have about the live event, and then also the box of fun. If you have any additional information, like I said, feel free to share in the comments, kind of help out the community with that information. Very brief rumor mill here. We are about to see the Dan Pops, if this is accurate, and I'm pretty excited about that. If the designs are even close to being on point, then I will be adding some to my collection. But we should get Okuran transformed with a Chase, Momo, Psycho, and Turbo Granny, the cat form, of course, of her, and some exclusives as well. So I'm pretty excited about Dan. Really looking forward to seeing these and how they turn out and getting some in my collection. Like I said, an Uncanny Spider-Man. I was really hoping that Funko would do this, and that's another one I'm looking forward to. Of course, this is Nightcrawler taking on the mantle of Spider-Man, which is a really great idea. So yeah, pretty excited about that figure, and I really need to read the comic run as well when I get the chance. But yeah, like I said, very short rumor mill here, just because some things that have been rumored, we've already seen them now. We know for sure that they're on the way and about to become available for pre-order. I really hope that you got something out of this video, and if you did, please make sure that you drop a like on the video, share the video to help out other collectors, and also help out the channel, help out this series by spreading the word. Spread the word on social media, spread the word to friends, other collectors. Please ask them to check it out and show support. I would greatly appreciate that. Thank you all so much for taking the time to watch, and I will talk to you all again real soon.